We've spoken a little bit about the profession, and we're going to keep using the word profession, professional, and in our terms in auditing and accounting, we need to understand exactly what that means when we use the word profession, because there's a whole bunch of things we need to be aware that ties into that. So when we look at the accounting profession, the first thing we're aware of is that it talks about the education necessary. As part of your accounting profession, you need a very high level of education. In South Africa, in order to be a registered auditor, you need to have your CTA, so it's basically at honors level. You need to make sure that you have a very high level of education, and our profession requires a very high level of education for their auditors. The training is the understanding that although you know something theoretically, it doesn't necessarily mean you understand how to apply it in different circumstances and different scenarios, which is why we perform articles, which is why we sign to be used as trainees. We sign up for training contracts, learnerships, whatever you want to call it. The reality is, what we need to do once you've done your studying and once you understand the theory is teach you how to apply that day by day in different circumstances, at different clients, under different situations, so that you understand how to bring your education and your training together. In most cases in real life, what happens in the textbook doesn't happen in real life. When you get to your client and you find out that things don't work the way the textbook says, what do? You can't sit there and say, well, the textbook says that you must do this, that, and the other, and so therefore I'm going home until you guys do what the textbook says. That's not going to work. So we've got to find a way to make sure that the knowledge and the theory and the concepts that you learn academically can be brought into applying this on a daily basis. The professional body in South Africa, your professional bodies in the accounting profession, we talk about as URBA and SAICA. SAICA is your South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, and that governs the way that your CAs are qualifying. It governs the academic requirements. It governs the learnership requirements of your CAs in South Africa. URBA governs your registered auditors, and in South Africa you cannot be a registered auditor unless you are a CA as well. So our registered auditors in South Africa are CAs as well. So these two organizations and professions to some extent work together, since URBA will take all your CAs and say, if you want to be an auditor, you need to follow our professions. So as auditors, we are bound by URBA. As CAs, we are bound by SAICA, and these two talk together. There are no real contradictions in terms of their professional requirements and in terms of their educational needs. And URBA governs what we do as auditors. URBA governs how we run our work, how we run our audit. And these three together, your education, your training, and the professional body that stands behind you, is what we talk about when we say you have a profession and you are a professional. This means that everything you do, all your decisions, all your work is governed by your academic knowledge, your ability to put it in practice, and what the profession requires of you. The laws that they lay down about how to do your job, how not to do your job, your professional requirements, your skills, etc., etc. And these three work together when we use the word professional. You'll see the words professional judgment, professional skepticism, as a professional behavior, professional competence. So when you see the word professional, it's not used lightly. It is used with this as an understanding.